जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधे। जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधे। जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे। जय राधा गोपीनाथ गोपीनाथ राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गिरिधारी राधे। जय राधा गिरिधारी राधे गिरधारी राधे, जय राधे जय राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे जय राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि, जय निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि, जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव, जय हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल, जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री निताय गौरंग भगवान की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गुरुतिष्वे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गो ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पश्चात देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। चेतोदर्पणमज्जनं भव महाद्वाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयकैर्य चन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वत्र श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनं नामकारि बहुडा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रातिपनियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृप भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इह जानननुरागः तृणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना माननीय मानदेन कीर्तनय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतद्भक्तिरहैतकी त्वयि मयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करपतितमां विषमे भुवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजसुतधूलिसदर्शं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुधाय गिरा पुलकीर्णचितमोपगदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुष प्रवर्षायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहेण आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मामादर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा विधगतो लम्पतो मात्प्राणानाथास्तु एव नापर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्री परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे श्रीविष्णु श्रीविष्णु श्रीविष्णु। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा। Prabhuji, Mataji, you can clearly hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
प्रभु
Prabhuji.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Dandavat pranam.
दंडोत प्रणाम। स्वप्ना माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम। पद्मा माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, thank
हरे
you.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, हरे कृष्ण दंडोत प्रणाम। परमराम माताजी, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। मधुसूदन प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम। किरण प्रभु हरे कृष्ण दंडोत प्रणाम। थैंक यू।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हाउ आर यू प्रभु? लॉन्ग टाइम।
यस प्रभु जी।
वेरी हैप्पी टू हियर यू। दक्षिण प्रभु शोभा कुमारी माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
सुब्बरा प्रभु, निरुपमा माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम। हरे
कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
लावण्य माताजी हरे कृष्ण। श्री गिरिराज प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम। दीपा माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण। संतोष साहित्य प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम। माताजी ऑल्सो दंडोत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
शीर्षा माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम। सत्य प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
तुलसी माताजी राजा रमेश प्रभु दंडोत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
ज्योत्सना माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम। माधवी माताजी दंडोत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण। वेनेला माताजी हरे कृष्ण दंडोत प्रणाम। 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 हरे कृष्ण। वेनेला माताजी हरे कृ Balamani Mataji, Hare Krishna. Dandavata Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you all for joining. Very grateful that you chosen to join today morning's class. Yeah, so we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are starting a new canto. I'm fortunate to be part of this first chapter of the first canto, the sixth canto. The name of the canto is Prescribed Duties. So now you all have to become serious. So prescribed duties to mankind. Yeah. Yeah, Jyotsnamati, you want to say something?
No, Prabhuji, I just raised hand to read, Prabhuji. No,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you for your enthusiasm. Yeah. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, this canto is prescribed duties for mankind. Because till now Sukadeva Goswami has explained about all the planetary systems, how great is the Supreme Lord, the whole creation. And at the end of the fifth canto, Srila Sukadeva Goswami explained Parikshit Maharaj about hellish planets. Specifically hellish planets in material world. Whole material world is hell in a way. But within that, some specific places. After that, the path beyond the highest planet. That is a chapter, right? That is a part. Basically, the history of the life of Ajamila. That is a chapter 1, which is where now we are going to continue from. There is a big introduction. I'm not getting into that. To this chapter, I'm directly going to the verses. Shri Parikshidvacha Nivritti Marga Kavita Adho Bhagavata Yatha Karma Yogopalabdhena Brahmanayad Asamshriti. Translation purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj Parikshit said, O my Lord, O Sukadeva Goswami, you have already described in the second canto the path of liberation, Nivritti Marga. By following that path, one is certainly elevated gradually to the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka, from which one is promoted to the spiritual world, along with Lord Brahma. Thus, one's repetition of birth and death in the material world ceases. Hare Krishna. Purport. Since Maharaj Parikshit, it's a long purport, please pay attention. Since Maharaj Parikshit was a Vaishnava, when he heard the description at the end of the fifth canto of the different hellish conditions of life, he was very much concerned with how to liberate the conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya and take them back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, he reminded his spiritual master, Sukadeva Goswami, about the Nivritti Marga or path of liberation, which he had described in the second canto. Maharaj Parikshit, who at the time of death was fortunate to have met Sukadeva Goswami, inquired from Sukadeva Goswami about the path of liberation at that crucial time. Sukadeva Goswami very much appreciated this question and congratulated him by saying, Variyan eshate prashna kruto loka hitam ripa atmavit sammata pumsam Shrotau Yadishu Yahpara. My dear King, your question is glorious because it is very beautiful for all kinds of people. The answer to this question is a prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all the transcendentalists. 211. Parikshit Maharaj was astonished that the living entities in conditioned life do not accept the path of liberation. Devotional service, instead of suffering in so many ways, so many hellish conditions. This is a symptom of a Vaishnava. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha. A Vaishnava is a notion of mercy. Paradukha dukhi. He is unhappy because of unhappiness of others. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj, being compassionate towards the conditioned souls suffering in hellish life, suggested that Sukadeva Goswami continue describing the path of liberation, which he had explained in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The word Asamshriti is very important in this connection. Samshriti refers to the continuing on the path of birth and death. Samshriti, on the contrary, refers to Nivritti Marga, or the path of liberation, by which one's birth and death cease and one gradually progresses to Brahmaloka, unless one is a pure devotee who does not care about going to the higher planetary systems, in which case one immediately returns home back to Godhead by executing devotional service. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Parikshit Maharaj, therefore, was very eager to hear from Sukadeva Goswami and the path of liberation for the conditioned soul. According to the opinion of the Acharyas, the word karma yogophalaptena indicates that by first performing karma yoga and then jnana yoga and finally coming to the platform of bhakti yoga, one can be liberated. Bhakti yoga, however, is so powerful that it does not depend on karma yoga or jnana yoga. Bhakti yoga itself is so powerful that even an impious man with no assets in karma yoga, or an illiterate with no assets in jnana yoga, can undoubtedly be elevated to the spiritual world if he simply renders to bhakti yoga. Mam evaishyasi asamshaya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8.7 that by the process of bhakti yoga, one undoubtedly goes back to Godhead, back home to the spiritual world. Yogis, however, instead of going directly to the spiritual world, sometimes want to see other planetary systems, and therefore they ascend to the planetary system where Lord Brahma lives, as indicated here by the word Brahmana. At the time of dissolution, Lord Brahma, along with all the inhabitants of Brahmaloka, goes directly to the spiritual world. This is confirmed in the Vedas as follows. Brahmana saha te sarve samprapte prati shanchare parasyante kritatmana pravishanti param padam. Because of their exalted position, those who are on Brahmaloka at the time of dissolution go directly back home, back to Godhead, along with Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhuji and Mataji, this is a section of discussion which is again one of the most spinal aspects of Srimad Bhagavatam. After 5th canto, the 6th canto, the prescribed duties to humankind, is so important that it is going to tell us how to go back and what exactly we need to do. Right? Of course, there is a lot of discussion we had about Kardamni, Dhruva Maharaj, devotional service, so many things we discussed. But here, specifically emphasis is given for the people in conditioned life, how do they go back and what is the process? And the questions here Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask are so applicable for our current situation, in Kali Yuga, where everyone is struggling with his senses, with his desires. Parikshit Maharaj is asking the most apt question to the point, saying, this is not going to work. The Nivritti Marg, Pravritti Marg, Jnana Marg, Dhyana Marg, Karma Marg, is all okay. Being guilty of what we have done, becoming purified, is all okay. But there is a problem. That is still going to come back. Please tell us the way through which we are guaranteedly going back home, back to Godhead. Right? So that is the purpose of me reading the Vedas, right? Vedanta Krit Vedavitevacha. Why the whole Vedanta is given? Right? To understand Krishna, to go back to him. So this particular section, today we're just going to read like 16, 17, like until 20th verse maybe. It's a logical stop. After that, tomorrow Mahesh Prabhu will continue with the story of Ajamil. But why did even the story of Ajamil come into point is because Parikshit Maharaj is trying to ask, what happens to people who have done sins? What happens to them? What is the hope? What is a guaranteed path to go back? Right? That's very, very important to know. What is a guaranteed path? We all want guarantee, right? When we go and buy something in the market, Kitna din ka guarantee hai? How many years the guarantee is, the warranty is there? What happens if something goes wrong? Same question Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadeva Goswami. What is the guarantee that I'm going to go back home back to Godhead? What is the guarantee that I'm not going to come back here again? Right? Very important, very, very essential discussion. Once one devotee, he, in the initial days of Krishna consciousness, even Srila Prabhupada is initiating new people, right? In 1960s, I don't know the exact year, 67, maybe. So this was in the storefront of New York. Just ISKCON is formed and Prabhupada is initiating on Radhashtami. And I was hearing that, on Radhashtami, first initiation Prabhupada did was on Janmashtami. And the second initiation for the next set of devotees, I heard he did it on Radhashtami. So on Radhashtami day, when he was initiating, some of the disciples, which included Kirtanananda Das, who later on became Kirtananandana Swami, and Brahma, is it? Forgetting that name, big sannyasi Prabhu. Brahmananda Prabhu, yes, and few others. So one devotee, he brought beads, wooden beads. So he gave to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is supposed to chant and, give it back for initiating them. So when Prabhupada gave the beads, the devotee told, "Oh, Swamiji, these are not made of tulsi." Just see the board. They're not made of tulsi, we are getting these wooden beads. And look at Prabhupada's answer. Somebody can see arrogance in it, somebody can see mercy in it. Prabhupada said, they are even better when I have chanted on them. Can you believe it? He is directly telling, they are even better when I have chanted on them. Right? The wooden beads, even a wooden beads, if they are chanted by the spiritual master, by pure devotee, they are more effective than even Tulsi beads. By saying this, Prabhupada is not saying Tulsi Maharani is not the highest devotee of Krishna. Prabhupada is highlighting devotion here. Don't whimsically think that wearing some auspicious or pure things like Tulsi will take you back to Godhead. Or the mood of wearing them, what it has to be, right? Like some people, they just go wear a Kantimala. They don't have any association. They don't surrender to any spiritual master. No guru. This is very Kantimala. Will that Kantimala take them back to Godhead? No, it will not. It's not the way it works. You should understand devotion from a pure devotee and understand who is Tulsi Maharani, and then you'll understand the mercy of Tulsi Maharani, and then Krishna will take you back to Godhead. That is preparing us to go back to Godhead. Right? That is the right understanding. How should I prepare myself to go home back to Godhead? Right? So I'm just muting some. Yeah. So preparation goes by going beyond ritualistic way of good and bad, yes and no, auspicious, inauspicious. Bhagavatam starts with rejecting all this, marks which deal with elevation and all that. Parikshit Maharaj is asking, enough. I've heard of all these planets, Jambudvipa, Bharatavarsha, Bharatakanda, and then all these planetary upper systems, then planetary downer systems, then finally hellish planet. Please tell me, how can I go back? Because there seems to be some problem with this, because there doesn't seem to be end to it. So the next questions will further elaborate and explain us how Parikshit Maharaj is so pinpointedly asking, and how Prabhupada's purports are answering, and of course Sukadeva Goswami is answering, and Prabhupada's purports are elaborating that going back to Godhead is not some activity that you can do with your own effort. Mercy has to come. And mercy comes from pure devotee. When Prabhupada tried to explain that to his disciples, that you are not come here to find some auspicious, pure things and think that you will go back to God. No, it's not going to work that way. You have come here to understand who is a guru. You come here to understand what is the greatness of mercy of Vaishnava. And Prabhupada said that, if you have chanted on them, you're better than Tulsi beads. Because that is what is needed to understand Tulsi Maharani. You need a guru. Once Prabhupada was in some Kumbh Mela, and some devotees, a lot of people, they go to Kumbh Mela to take dip in the water, and they take dip in the water and they come back and they think that all my sins are gone, all my, I have atoned, I'm clean now, right? So one devotee, one person, he heard about Srila Prabhupada. He saw Prabhupada's activities. Indian, I forgot his name. He's a very famous name, though. Forgive me, he's a great devotee also. So he went to Mother Ganga. He took Mother Ganga's water in a pot, and he brought that water to the pandal in which Srila Prabhupada was there. And he came and said, Swamiji, can I wash your feet with the Ganga water? And then I put that water on my head. Prabhupada said, yes, go ahead. And took that water on, put it on Ganga water, he put it on Prabhupada's feet, and then took that water and put it on his head. So I'm not exactly remembering the instance. I heard this from Prabhupada disciple in a memories to Srila Prabhupada, that somebody asked Prabhupada or Prabhupada answered, but basically the conversation was, why did he do that? And Prabhupada said that what Mother Ganga cannot purify, a pure devotee can purify. Even Mother Ganga becomes purified when it touches the feet of a devotee. Prabhupada was saying that with great humility. The Prabhupada always said, when somebody comes and touches my feet, I always accept that as an offering to my Gurudev. It's not like Prabhupada saying, you wash my feet so you become purified more than what you would have purified by Mother Ganga. But Prabhupada is saying that a pure devotee can give devotion. And devotion is greater than washing any sins. Devotion is greater than, any other path that you may take. Right? Prabhupada told everything to all of us how to go back home, back to God. Prabhupada and Mataji, we are so fortunate. Prabhupada told everything. And with his own example, he tried to show the greatness of previous acharyas. As a humble servant of the previous acharyas, with his own example, he showed. Great humility he showed. We are in this society, Prabhupada and Mataji, please hear this attentively. If we are attentive to our life in ISKCON, we are going back to Krishna. Of this, there is no doubt. Don't even keep it out. Don't even have it out. We just have to follow the instructions. There can be struggles. There can be ups and downs. There can be fall downs, get ups. I'm not saying they can be, meaning it's a license, no. But if we hold on to the feet of our acharyas and remember them and their mercy and beg for that mercy, please, 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 somehow pull me out. We are very much on the path to go back and back to Krishna. Very much. It's like you have a medicine, you take that medicine and the disease is gone. It's a proven 100% medicine. And it is not something that somebody has taken, it did not work. Everybody it works. Now, if that kind of medicine is given to us and we are still thinking, should I take it or not? Maybe not today. I think tomorrow. I think after a few years, then we are the most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Because this medicine is devotional service and it's given from pure devotees. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj is a pure devotee. His name is being chanted in other planets. Yamaraj sends people back when he gets to know they are anywhere related to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj. Prabhupada is to talk about his guru. His guru, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, pure devotee. His guru, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, pure devotee, all the way up. Baldev Vidyabhushan, 6 Goswamis. They're all great acharyas, and we are coming, we are coming in the disciplinic succession. How fortunate can we be? The most unfortunate part is when people still don't understand that there is no other way except devotion. Our acharyas are teaching us that devotion is the path through which we can go back to Krishna. There is no other way. Don't try to manufacture, don't try to uh, speculate, don't try to do anything, just accept what is being given. Srimad Bhagavatam, this is gold, Prabhu, this is gold. Gold. We are already having how many Santosh, how many kgs of gold you have in your house?
This is 30 kilos.
30 kgs gold. Every ISKCON devotee has 30 kgs gold. దౌర్భాగ్యం ఏంటంటే ఇంకా ఏడుస్తున్నాడు. బుద్ధి జ్ఞానం లేదు. 30 kgల బంగారం ఉంది. Plus another 15 kg, 16 kgs of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Diamonds, 15 kg diamonds we have. 30 kg gold we have. ఇంకా ఏడుపు మొహం పెట్టుకొని కూర్చుంటారు. ప్రభుజీ ఎప్పుడు ఇస్తాడు ప్రభు కృష్ణుడు నాకు మర్సీ ఎప్పుడు ఇచ్చినా కూడా మర్సీ ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చింది అక్కడ కనబడతలేదా? ఈ చదువు రోజు చదువు అయిపోయింది అంతే. Parikshit Maharaj is going to speak the next few verses. Sorry, I'm using Telugu slang, but sometimes that is what works. And just understand what we have. The questions, the next, I'm just going to read them through. Okay? And we'll discuss more. I want this to be more discussion. What do you think about this conversation? Right? So, text 2. Pravritri lakshanaschaiva traigunya vishayo mune yo ashau alina prakriter gunasarga puna puna. Oh, great, says Sukadeva Goswami, unless the living entity is freed from the infection of the material modes of nature, he receives different types of bodies in which to enjoy or suffer. And according to the body, he is understood to have various inclinations. By following these inclinations, he traverses the path called Pravritti Marga, by which one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, as you have already described in the 3rd canto. Hare Krishna. So, one of the great qualities of a great disciple is he logically asks the question by quoting Guru's previous instructions, saying, you spoke like this in 3rd, 2nd canto. You talked about Nivritti Marga, then you talked about Pravritti Marga, then you talked about Karma Marga, then you talked about this, talked about this. Or now tell me, what should I understand this for? So this shows how attentive Parikshit Maharaj was. Maybe this is the 5th canto, 6th canto. I don't know how many days have passed. 7 days is what? 7 days and nights is what Takshaka gave to Parikshit Maharaj to come and kill him. So, don't want to speculate. Maybe it's the 3rd day. Maybe 3 days have passed. Right? So, after 3 days of no water and no food, and completely sitting and just hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is so attentively asking the question that you have told me this. Now you tell me what I should do. So, shows a lot of attentiveness. A lot of times, in Kali Yuga, of course, now current situation, people sit in the class, they don't even know what they're hearing. After the class, you ask, Prabhuji, what did you hear? They'll only tell the last thing that they heard, Hare Krishna. Because everything else they forgot. Everything is gone. Or only some portion they hear what they want to hear. But here is Parikshit Maharaj. He is setting an example for all of us that we have to be very attentive, because everything is interlinked. So what we hear and what is supposed to be heard. Adharma lakshanana narkas chanuvarnita manvantarascha vyakhyata adhya swayam bhuvoyata. You have also described at the end of 5th canto the varieties of hellish life. that result from impious activities, and you have described in the 4th canto the first Manvantara, which was presided over by Swayambhu Manu, the son of Lord Brahma. Priyavrato Tanapador Vamsha Tat Charitani Cha Dvipavarsha Samudradri Nadi Udhyana Vanaspatin Dharamandala Samsthanam Bhagalakshana Manata Jyotisham Vivaranam Cha Yathedam Asrajad Vibhu. My dear Lord, you have described the dynasties and characteristics of King Priyavrata and King Uttanapada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead created this material world with various universes, planetary systems, planets, and stars, with varied lands, seas, oceans, mountains, rivers, gardens, and trees, all with different characteristics. These are divided among this planet Earth, the luminaries in the sky, and the lower planetary systems. You have very clearly described these planets and living entities who live on them. So the Vibhu, the greatness of Supreme Lord is explained, is what he said. He's created all these great things. So Sarvasva Prabho Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matta Bhujante Mam Buddha Bhava Samhita. You will automatically surrender to me when you understand how great I am. For me comes material world, spiritual world, everything. Right? So here Parikshit Maharaj is explaining, you explain me the greatness of God. And Prabhupada quotes, after many births, people ask the right question. Even though they've taken birth in all these places. Bahunam Janmanam Anti Gyanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarveti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha 7.19. So Prabhupada is quoting this just to explain that now ask the right questions. Now that you understood how great is God, all the planetary systems, now let's get serious about this conversation. Adhuneha Mahabhaga Yathaiva Narakannara Nanogra Yatanan Neyat Tanme Vyakhyatum Arhasi. O greatly fortunate and opulent Sukadeva Goswami, now kindly tell me how human beings may be saved from having to enter hellish conditions in which they suffer terrible pains. So he's saying, okay, you talked to me all about the planetary systems, everything. Now tell me, how do they escape? How do they escape? Right? So devotional life is going to be discussed now. Sukadeva Goswami is going to answer. Shri Sukha Vacha Neche Ihaiva Pachitim Yatham Hasa Kritasya Kuryanmana Ukta Panibhi Dhruvam Savai Pretya Narakan Upaiti Ye Kirtita Me Bhavatas Tigma Yatana. Sukadeva Goswami replied, my dear king, if before one's next birth, whatever impious acts one has performed in this life, with his mind, words, and body are not counteracted through proper atonement according to the description of Manu's Samhita and other Dharma Shastras, one will certainly enter the hellish planets after death and undergo terrible sufferings, as I have previously described to you. Now, Sukadeva Goswami is trying to glorify actually Parikshit Maharaj by asking him to ask the right, even more focused question. He's not giving, he could have given the answer as devotion, but he's not telling here. What is he telling here? Before we glorify his devotion, he's trying to tell, technically, how can you go back to Krishna? Is that when you are completely sinless, you atone for all the sins. Now he's saying, at the time of your death, you should not have any balance of karma left. Huh? Then you will go back to Krishna. Now, is it possible, Professor Mataji, that we can have a situation living in this material world when there is no karma? There is no karmic effect of what I'm doing or what I'm carrying from past lives. I don't even know, forget about past lives, I don't even know how much karma I've accumulated in this life. What is the hope of talking about past lives, right? And we don't even know how much we have done, what all we have done in past lives, and what all we have to undergo as a reaction to what we have done. There is no, it looks like an endless cycle. But the endless cycle question has to be asked. So Sukadeva Goswami is waiting for Parikshit Maharaj to reject atonement also. So he's trying to push him towards a point where he's going to ask the ultimate question, right? So he's answering here saying, yeah, according to Manu Samhita, just follow everything and you have to go to a point where you completely become sinless, you atoned from everything you have done, then you will go back to God. And that immediately Parikshit Maharaj, says, Tasmat, Sukadeva Goswami is continuing, Tasmat Puraivashu Iha Papa Nishkrutau Ye Tata Mrityor Avipad Yatatmana Doshasya Drishtva Gurulaghavam Yata Bhishak Chikichet Rujam Nidavanit. Therefore, before one's next death comes, as long as one's body is strong enough, one should quickly adopt the process of atonement according to Shastra. Right? Otherwise, one's life will be lost and the reactions of his sins will increase. As an expert physician diagnoses a disease and treats a disease according to its gravity, one should undergo atonement according to the severity of one's sins. So atonement is being discussed here. Manu Samhita describes so many things that we should not do, so many things we should do, and the reactions to it. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, you have to come to that point before you take the next body. There will not be a next body if you come to that point, right? So Prabhupada explains, let me read this purport. It's a very strong purport. Dharma Shastras, like the Manu Samhita, prescribe that a man who has committed murder should be hanged and his own life sacrificed in atonement. Previously, this system was followed all over the world. But since people are becoming atheists, they are stopping capital punishment. This is not wise. Herein, it is said that a physician who knows how to diagnose a disease prescribes medicine accordingly. If the disease is very serious, the medicine must be strong. The weight of the murderer's sin is very great. And therefore, according to Manu Samhita, a murderer must be killed. By killing a murderer, the government shows mercy to him, because if a murderer is not killed in this life, he will be killed and forced to suffer many times in future lives. Since people do not know about the next life and the intricate workings of nature, they manufacture their own laws, but they should properly consult the established injunctions of the Shastras and act accordingly. In India, even today, the Hindu community often takes advice from expert scholars regarding how to counteract sinful activities. In Christianity also, there is the process of confession and atonement. Therefore, atonement is required, and atonement must be undergone according to the gravity of one's sinful acts. Prabhupada explaining, regretfulness, coming out of it, atonement is needed. It's there. It's part of our tradition. But let's see, Parikshit Maharaj is not satisfied. Now, this is the ultimate question, Prabhu's. Verse number 9. Here, the impact of Srimad Bhagavatam starts. Because till now, whatever was discussed, this 8 verses, could have been a discussion of any other scripture also. Where Karma Kanda is being discussed. Oh, you have to atone for what you've done. Be regretful, be guilty, don't do it again. All this talk is okay. But now, Parikshit Maharaj is asking, text number 9. Shri Rajo Vacha Drishtva Shrutabhyam Yat Papam Jnanan Api Atmano Ahitam Karoti Bhuyo Vishwasa Prayaschittam Atho Katham. Hare Krishna. Maharaj Parikshit said, one may know that sinful activity is injurious for him. because he actually sees that a criminal is punished by the government and rebugged by people in general, and because he hears from scriptures and learned scholars that one is thrown into hellish conditions in the next life from committing sinful acts. Nevertheless, in spite of such knowledge, one is forced to commit sins again and again, even after performing acts of atonement. Therefore, what is the value of such atonement? Hare Krishna. Have you heard this kind of conversation anywhere, Prabhuji? Huh? Where that's why it's Amala Puran, where he is asking, why are you talking about this atonement and all these things of coming out of sins? I'm not interested in this because people are again going to do what they're going to do. And are we not seeing it everywhere around us? Forget about everywhere around us. Keep the hand on your heart and ask yourself, have you committed sins in spite of knowing it's a sin? Yes, many times. Many times. It's not that, oh, I don't know it's a sin. You know that's a sin. You're still committing it again and again. Why are you doing it? Huh? Like if you read Manu Samhita, I'm telling a very gross example. It is an offense to stand and urinate. It's there in Manu Samhita. You should not stand and urinate. For male people, for male members, right? If you see in the villages, they sit down. They sit down and urinate. They don't stand and urinate. Manu Samhita says you should not stand and urinate. It's an insult to Mother Earth. Now, you decide how much you will try to implement this. Where will you go and implement this? Tell me. Right? We have created facility in such a way, in our house or outside, you can't even do if you want to do. And if you try to sit down and do that, your thighs will break into two pieces because you have not used the thighs in such a way. I'm giving this gross example. I know everyone is like, why are you taking this example? But the point is, Manu Samhita is speaking about it. And a lot of people can't follow or would not follow it today. There's so many things like that. There's so many things like that. Worshipping cows. Serving cows. Serving devotees. So many things are there. Serving Brahmanas. How we are supposed to treat a Brahman? When a Brahmana comes to your house, how are you supposed to? Manu Samhita says all those things, right? Says, Brahmana has to be worshipped. He has to be given to your heart satisfaction when he has done some sacrifice. And there are so many instructions for Brahmanas also in Manu Samhita. The Brahmana's qualities and what Brahmana is supposed to do. Never keep wealth with you. Hey Brahmana, don't keep wealth with you. Give that wealth away. Always depend on God. Live like a beggar because begging will keep you faithful on God. We know that. A Brahmana also knows that. Or at least he has read about it. But is he following it? No. People say, I'm a Brahman. What kind of Brahmanical life are you leading? No, Prabhu, I have this. I have a Janjam, I have Shika, and I know a little bit mantras. So I'm a Brahman. No, Prabhu, I'm also taken birth in a Brahmana's family. So I'm a Brahman. No, Manu Samhita doesn't say, just the external, internal also it is asking. No, but point is, we know what are sins. We know what the reactions to the sins are, but still we cannot stop committing those sins. Right? Once somebody is a rapist or a murderer, even after he is released from a prison, you would still be fearful of him, isn't it? Right? Say if you have a house, you want to rent it, and a rapist comes, ex-rapist. He has committed horrible crimes. He was put into jail. He got released. Will you give your house and rent to him? He'll tell, no, I have finished my jail tenure. Government has punished me. I'm clean now. I don't have any case on me. Please give me your house on rent. Will you give? No, he has atoned, na? Prabhuji, he has atoned, na? He has atoned. He has committed a sin. He atoned. He's also regretful. Will you commit? Will you give? Or get somebody, like, sir, where were you before coming here? I was in Mushirabad Central Jail. Huh? What did you do? I killed 5-6 people. We had a fight. I killed them. But now I'm not doing that. Now I'm living very peacefully. I don't want to leave my family. I want to live with my family. Sir, I'll give you a rent on time. Can you give your house on rent to me? Will you give? ఇస్తారా చంద్రమౌళి ప్రభు రెంట్కి ఇస్తారా?
Even if you are devotee also, we are not ready to.
Prabhu is one more thing. Even if he has become a devotee also, will not give. because he'll just come and murder you. He has already a previous experience of murdering people. Right? So you called him and said, sir, 5th అయిపోయింది సార్, ఇంకా రెంటే లేదు, ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాలి సార్, వస్తున్నా, ఇంటికి వస్తున్నాను. అమ్మో రాకండి సార్, ఆన్లైన్ పంపించండి, వస్తున్నా, వచ్చేస్తానండి. వచ్చి రెంట్ ఇస్తావా, చాక్ తోటి పొడి చేస్తావా, ఎవరు తెలియదు. He went to the jail. See, this itself shows that we ourselves don't have confidence on the punishment system of the law of the land. We don't have confidence. He got punished. But has he become a good person? Has everything changed in him? No. We ourselves don't have confidence. That's exactly what Parikshit Maharaj is saying. That knowing the law, knowing the punishment, it itself is not enough for a Baba. You are still going to commit those nonsense. Because you yourself are committing it. You know that. The tendency is not gone. कलेर दोष निदे राजन अस्ति हे को महान गुना कीर्तना देव कृष्णस्य मुक्त संग समाचार. At the end, 12th canto, ఇక మీ వల్ల ఇంకా ఆగరా బిడ్డ, మీరు చాంటింగ్ చేయండి. There is no way you can come out of this cycle of sins and atonement, sins and atonement, sins and atonements. Right? So that's exactly Parikshit Maharaj asking. Beautiful question. I'm just going to read it again. Please hear. Parikshit Maharaj is saying, one may know that sinful activity is injurious for him because he actually sees that the criminal is punished by the government, rebuffed by the people in general, and because he hears from scriptures and learned scholars that one is thrown into hellish conditions in the next life for committing sinful acts. He knows. Pura gyan sab kuch hai. Nevertheless, in spite of such knowledge, one is forced to commit sins and again. One is forced to commit sins again and again, even after performing acts of atonement. Therefore, what is the use of such atonement? How many other times you get punished? कितने बार भी बोलो, सुधरते क्या अपन लोग? प्रभु जी, माता जी, हाँ? Let's take 5 minutes comments here. How many times you have heard, Prabhu, Mataji, don't do this, be like this, it's good for you, and you have not done it? Can you give some examples? Let's expose ourselves. In this Zoom, there is Krishna also. We have 34 members. 33 are appearing, 34th is not appearing. That is Krishna. What are the things that we are told and we are not following? You can raise your hand, unmute and answer. In spite of knowing, we are committing that mistake.
Attentive chanting, Prabhuji.
Of course, first thing, everybody will tell this. Siggu lekuta, siggu vadakunta, chanting bale Prabhu. Next.
Association, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Association, Prabhuji.
Not staying in good association. Taking bad association. Wantedly browsing YouTube videos. Wantedly going and watching some other movies. Wantedly, thinking that, oh, this is also needed. Prabhu, sometimes it would undale, Prabhu. Hare.
Prajalpa, Prabhuji, Prajalpa.
Time pass talk. Prajalpa. ఇంకో భాష చెప్పాలంటే గోకుడు. ఊరికనే వెళ్ళి చెప్పుడు, అన్ని అనవసరమైన విషయాలు మాట్లాడు. Just going and talking nonsense, not needed. No way it is helpful for your devotion. We'll do prajalpa. Things which are not related to God.
Not exercising our free will properly, Prabhu.
Not exercising our free will properly. Yes, that summarizes the whole thing. That's what we are discussing. In tell some specific things.
Killing
Take
other
shelter of
living
children.
entities.
Okay, well, let's Akinchan Prabhu. You go ahead.
Killing other living entities, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Maybe
killing other living entities. Killing
mosquitoes, cockroaches, example.
mosquito, cockroaches are still they are biting you, Prabhu. What about buying leather products?
Yeah.
Huh? We know we are part of the sin. Still we want it. Acha branded person, huh? Want it. So many things. Milk. I'm telling you, milk itself, right?
Yes.
We don't care how the milk is coming from, where it is coming from. We want cheese, butter. What is it? We go to supermarket, we take that paneer. What has been done to the cow to get that? Atonement. There is not. Doesn't work. Vegetables, land. How Mother Earth, Bhumata, is being put chemicals, like literally, chemicals that can kill the health of the whole, what is it? Prana Shakti in that land. They are being put, and we are buying the vegetables. We know that it's not that we don't know. There are some, because I'm into agriculture now a little bit. There are some chemicals which are banned by government also, and still they're being openly sold in stores. Because it is scientifically proven that if you put that chemical on the earth, for next 15-20 years, there won't be any vegetation, minimum. Just for that one crop, you put it. Can you imagine what comes out of that when it goes into our stomach? What happens to our stomach? Can't even imagine. We know that, but still we are abusing Mother Earth. All mothers, all the 7 mothers we are abusing. Bhumata, Gomata, all mothers. Right? So now tell me, Prabhuji and Matajis, in spite of we getting so much knowledge, why is it so difficult to change? Why is the change not coming? Huh?
Familiarity, Prabhuji.
Because of our conditioning, Prabhu.
Because of our conditioning. Yes.
Too much familiarity.
We forgot we are the servants of Dasa and Das.
Exactly. We forgot, we are not understanding, Prabhujis. We are not understanding that everything has a reaction. Even if we understand, we are too lazy. The biggest thing that Kali Yuga brings is laziness. We don't want any tapasya. Tell me a marg without tapasya, Prabhu. Prabhuji, kuch bhi bolo, tapasya mat bolo. What is the meaning of tapasya? The one thing that comes to our mind, tapasya means immediately sit like this in meditation and close your eyes. And no, that's not tapasya that anybody can do. Tapasya means to say no to things which are not good for you for a definite benefit in future. That is tapasya. This definition is Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu had given. Once I was in a yatra, Vrindavan yatra, and we were walking. And Radha Gopinath Prabhu was taking one group to one place somewhere in Vrindavan, some outside village, some holy place. And on the way, when he was walking, 4 or 5 of us were walking very close to him. And one person asked, Prabhu, what is tapasya anyways? Then he told this definition. Saying no to something which you like, to do or to have, knowing that it is harmful for you and it will give definite benefit for you in future if you stop it. That is tapasya. Right?
You voluntary inconvenience also?
Yeah. Voluntary inconvenience for a definite benefit in future.
Okay.
Just doing inconvenience is not tapasya. Prabhu, I will not eat every Friday. That is also sense gratification. I will not eat on Ekadashi because it has a clear spiritual benefit and I can do more rounds, I can do more reading, I can do more association. Right? That is beneficial. So that is what one should look for. That is what one should look for. Tapasya, right? Definite benefit in future. Some things that you, even if you don't like to do, you still do it. Or you like to do and it's not good, you stop it. Tapasya. But Prabhu, still, there is a problem that it can come back. The tendency is there. That is what exactly Parikshit Maharaj is talking about. Verse 10. Vachin nivartate abhadrat vachich charati tat puna prayaschittam atho apartham manye punyajara sauchavat. Sometimes one who is very alert so as not to commit sinful acts is victimized by sinful life again. You just see the sentence. Sometimes one who is very alert so as to not commit sinful acts is victimized by sinful life again. Even though you want to stop doing these sins, you continue to do these sins. I therefore consider this process of repeated sinning and atoning to be useless. Hare Krishna. Right? It is like bathing of an elephant. For an elephant cleanses itself by taking a full bath, but then throws dust over its head and body as soon as it returns to the land. But now, Sukadeva Goswami, now pay attention to verse number 11 to verse number 19 are the answers that we all need to hear. Right? How do you come out of this cycle? Right? First of all, we should become desperate to know these answers. Because we have been trying this atonement mark for many, many lives. Even in last life, we would have done some vratas, we would have done some price chittas, but it didn't work. That's the reason we are in Gachibowli. We are in Hyderabad. Shri Bhadraya Nirvacha Karmana Karma Nirharo Nahi Atyantika Ishyate Avidvad Adhikaritvad Prayaschittam Vimarshanam. Sukadeva Goswami said, O son of Vyasa, Veda Vyasa, O Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Veda Vyasa answered, my dear king, since acts meant to neutralize impious actions are also fruitive. Since acts meant to neutralize impious actions, the things that we do as a good, as against the bad, they are also fruitive actions. They will not release one from the tendency to act fruitively. Meaning what? I am doing this to make sure I am atoning for what I have done in the past. Even doing this is still the same tendency of committing the same sin again. Because you are just trying to reverse it. You are just trying to reverse it again and again and again and again and again. But you'll again do it again. Because this act also is a fruitive activity. For example, if somebody says, mindfulness Satyanartham chestunandi, endukandi? ఏదో తప్పులు జరిగినాయండి దానికోసం. అంటే తప్పులు జరిగినందుకు మంచి చేస్తున్నా. మంచి ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నా? మళ్ళీ తప్పు చేయొద్దని కాదు, తప్పులు జరిగినందుకు మంచి చేస్తున్నా. Right? I'm doing good to reverse the bad. But I'm not doing good to stop the bad. I'm just trying to reverse the bad. The tendency is I'll reverse the bad. But you're reversing it, but you're not stopping it. That's what Sukadeva Goswami is saying. Persons who subject themselves to the rules and regulations of atonement are not at all intelligent. Indeed, they are in the mode of darkness. Unless one is freed from the mode of ignorance, trying to counteract one action through another is useless, because this will not uproot one's desires. Thus, even though one may superficially seem pious, he will undoubtedly be prone to act impiously. Therefore, real atonement is enlightenment in perfect knowledge, Vedanta, by which one understands the supreme absolute truth. Right? Now, Jnana Marga is being told here. But Jnana Marga, to go towards God in devotion, is being told here. Not Jnana Marga to just reverse. I did this, I'll put this ring, I'll put this stone, I'll put this mala, I'll put this tayat, I'll put this whatever outside my house, inside my house, and things will be fixed. No. Vastu cannot fix your life. Vastu can ease a little bit of comfort, but Vastu is not going to fix your life. You're again and again going to come back. All this Shastra, Vastu also is a Shastra. That's what he is telling. The rules and regulations mentioned in the Shastras are still not going to help you unless you go to the Supreme Lord and ask for the absolute truth. Right? And Prabhupada in the purport explains, about the whole tendency of committing sins, karma kanda, jnana kanda. But prayashchittam, all these things okay. But then you have to understand why you have to stop, what you have to stop. Nashnata pratyam evanam vyadhyo abhibhavanti hi evam niyamakra rajan sanai kshemaya kalpate. My dear king, if a deceased person eats impure, uncontaminated food prescribed by a physician, he is gradually cured, and the infection of disease can no longer touch him. Similarly, if one follows the regulative principle of knowledge, he gradually progresses towards liberation from material contamination. So first get into Sattva-guna. First move yourself, right? Here, Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavatam. It says, because of ignorance, from 10th canto, 10 to 32, because of ignorance, one speculatively thinks himself liberated from metal contamination, although actually he is not. Therefore, even if one rises to Brahmagyana, understanding the Brahman, one nevertheless falls down because of not taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Nonetheless, Jnanis at least know what is sinful and what is pious, and they very cautiously act according to the injunction of Shastra. Getting Jnana is still better than not having anything at all, right? But he goes further, 13 and 14. Tapasya brahmacharyena samena cha damena cha tyagena satya sauchabhyam yamena niyamena va dehavag buddhijam dhira dharmajna shraddha yanvita kshipanti agam mahad api venu gulmam ivanala. To converse the mind, one must observe a life of celibacy and not fall down. One must undergo, so please hear this attentively. I'm reading the solution by Sukadeva Goswami explaining. To concentrate the mind, one must observe a life of celibacy and not fall down. One must undergo the austerity of voluntarily giving up sense enjoyment. One must then control the mind and senses, give charity, be truthful, clean, and non-violent, follow the regulative principles, and regularly chant the holy names of the Lord. Thus, a sober and faithful person who knows the religious principles is temporarily purified of all sins performed with his body, words, and mind. These sins are like the dried leaves of creepers beneath a bamboo tree, which may be burned by fire, although their roots remain to grow again at the first opportunity. Now here Sukadeva Goswami is explaining very clearly what all we need to start doing so that we go beyond atonement. Now here he is saying that one must observe a life of celibacy, brahmacharya, no sex life. That means no bodily enjoying things, no sense gratification. Now please be mindful. Here is saying give charity. Why is he telling give charity? Charity is also fruitive activity, right? Charity is a fruitive activity when you are giving that charity with an expectation. Prabhuji's biggest disease in Kali Yuga is attachment to money, for a grahastha especially. And if it doesn't get into the habit of giving charity, he's going to come back. Be very certain about that, because you don't want to depend on God, you want to keep all the wealth. And you think that wealth is saving you. By act of charity, you're telling God that actually I'm depending on you, not the money that you have given. I'll also save that, but I'm also going to give. Because this is not my real shelter. People, they don't want to give charity, or even they want to give calculatively, they want to give, and they want to give restrictedly because they don't want to depend on God. That itself is the biggest disease of Grahastha. We have to learn to give charity. Because the act itself, Sukadeva Goswami is specifically using that act in such a big solution is giving. So that is where it begins. For a Grahastha, charity is very, very important. He has to give. Fix it. Prabhuji, I retire. Prabhuji, I want. What are you talking? You have money. Give some of it. Right? It is that important. Because the attachment has to go. The dependence has to increase. Attachment has to grow, has to go, and dependence has to increase. That comes with charity. Very important for Grahasthas. Be truthful. I'll not lie. Let me be very true about my situation. At least to yourself, you should not lie. Recently, I was hearing from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. I wish I had that written down somewhere. It was this 1 minute clip of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Gita quote, something like that. He was talking about levels of acceptance, or what is the most dangerous situation to commit a sin. He was talking that people who commit sin, there are different levels. The first level is they commit it not knowing that it is a sin. Okay, na? They commit it not knowing that it is a sin. The second level is, Hare Krishna? Somebody is talking? No answer? Okay, no problem. Yeah. The first is committing a sin not knowing that it is a sin. Second is committing a sin thinking it is not that big a sin. It's not that. He knows that it is a sin, but it's not that big a sin. Third is committing it because you cannot control yourself from committing it. Right? Your senses are too. Now, please hear. First level is what? Not knowing it is a sin. Second level is what? Committing it, knowing that it's not that big a sin. Third level is what? Committing it because you cannot control yourself from committing it. What can be higher than this?
Willfully committing.
Huh?
Willfully committing.
That's the third one, right? You're willfully committing. Okay, you can one more level to it. One more level to
Yeah.
it.
So you still don't want to.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to, you're committing, but here you're willfully committing. Yeah, Sunil Prabhu, correct. What is even higher than that? Where your intelligence is corrupted, that you are thinking that actually I'm not committing a sin, even though it's a sin. My God, just imagine. Your intelligence is so corrupted that you're committing that sin and declaring that, actually it's justified to do this. That is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. Well, who can save you? See, first level person, somebody can come and save you. Prabhu, you don't know that it's a sin. Please don't do. Second level person is saying, I'm not, little sin. No, Prabhu, it's actually a big sin. Then he'll stop. Third person is saying, I'm not able to control my senses. I'm committing a sin. You can go and tell him that Prabhuji is, you have to control your senses. Otherwise, you'll keep going through this cycle. That is also okay. Fourth level is, what did you tell Prabhu? Willfully committing it. Willfully committing also, you can go and tell you are willfully committing it. But then understand that, it has a reaction and this and that. But this last level is you're intelligently committing it. Intelligently committing a sin. If you're intelligently committing a sin, how can you stop that person? He's planning to commit that sin. Not only just willfully, he is actually tactfully planning and executing it and convinced in the mind that it is not a sin. उसको कैसे रोकोगे? Right? Very difficult. Very difficult. Hare Krishna. So here, being truthful. So being truthful is to accept at least that I'm committing a sin. At least accept. Yes, Prabhu, I'm committing a sin. Because the last level person, he cannot accept that he's committing a sin. Because he's intelligently committing a sin. Right? Clean, being clean and non-violent. Non-violent goes into different levels, Prabhu. Speaking in a way which will agitate and displease others is also violence. Not just, non-violence means, taking a knife and killing people. That itself is not violence. What is the most sharpest knife?
Tongue.
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 Bas, usse sharp और कुछ नहीं है. If you don't control that tongue, it can kill people. That is real violence. That is real violence. We all know that. Right? Everybody knows. Hari bol. Everybody knows, right? Taka 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 बोल दिया सभी लोग. Tongue 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 प्रभु बोल के. Why? How do you know that tongue is the most sharpest? रोज कटिंग हो रहा है या कटिंग कर रहे हो? You are cutting every day or you are being cut every day by somebody? Huh? Both. Huh?
Both.
Padma Mata is saying both. Nice, bro. You wanted to say something.
No, bro, same thing, bro. Trying to be cut, but I'm not getting cutted.
Huh? You're not being cutted on. Really? You are living in paradise, bro. Not paradise of Secunderabad. Paradise means the place where you're not having any, not having any, my day starts by being cut. My day ends by me cutting others. That is my sinful life. Without any regret, I'm admitting that.
బ్యాలెన్స్ అయిపోయింది ప్రభుజీ.
Huh?
బ్యాలెన్స్ అయిపోయింది ప్రభుజీ.
దేవుడా మాతాజీ ఇక్కడ బ్యాలెన్స్. Yeah, no, non-violent. Follow the regulative principles. Regulative principles. Most difficult to follow in Kali Yuga. Most difficult. But still follow. ISKCON devotees, Prabhus and Matajis, we are ISKCON devotees. We are the only people on this planet who are following the regulative principles, knowing that they are regulative principles. How many people know the regulative principles? Go outside and ask. Go outside to the road and ask, what are the regulative principles? అంత ఇంగ్లీష్ రాకపోతే ఏమడగొచ్చు? సింపుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏమడగొచ్చు? ధర్మం ఎలా పాటియాలి? ధర్మానికి 4 పాదాలు ఏంటి? వాట్ ఆర్ ద 4 legs ఆఫ్ ధర్మ? సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ యు కెన్ ఆస్క్. అది కూడా తెలియకపోతే ఎట్లా అడగొచ్చు? వాట్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ దట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి డన్ which are not good for you? You can ask. Right? If you go and ask this question, in Nalgonda district to a Ranku Reddy, he'll tell, what are the things that should not be done? He'll tell, don't put soda and drink directly. The soda creates gas, he'll tell. నీ బతుకు నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నాను, ఏం ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను, అది పరిస్థితి. అర్థమైందా? They'll only tell how to commit that sin in an enjoyable way. They'll not talk about what is sin, what is not sin. I'm coming from many kind of community where people drink for every reason. Right? And if you're not drinking, then that is a sin. పాపం చేస్తున్నారా? తాగవా? తాపవా? ఎందుకురా పెట్టేదా ఫంక్షన్? పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటున్నావు, బిడ్డ పెళ్లి చేస్తున్నావు, ఉడుపు పెళ్లి చేస్తున్నావు, మందు పెట్టవా? లైక్ దట్ దే డిస్కస్.
Don't eat non-veg also. They look at us like as if we are doing some sin.
Sin. అట్లా కాదు. ఇంకా నాన్ వెజ్ పెట్టిన తర్వాత కూడా లెగ్ పీస్ ఏదిరా, ఒక్క లెగ్ పీస్ రాలేదు నాకు. ఇది పరిస్థితి. ఇట్లాంటి వాళ్ళకి పోయి మనం ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం చెప్పండి. రైట్? హౌ దీస్ పీపుల్, చంద్రమౌళి ప్రభు,
through SSR only.
SSR ఓన్లీ. కరెక్ట్ చెప్పిండు. నేను ఒకరిని అట్లాంటి అబ్సల్యూట్లీ అట్లాంటి దగ్గర నుంచే వచ్చిన, రైట్? సో ఐ వెంట్ టు బాస్టన్ టు ఎంజాయ్. ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎంజాయ్. దెన్ కృష్ణ కేమ్. దొరికినావు నా కొడుక. అవుట్ బయటకు వచ్చినాం, నీ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చినాం. నౌ ఐ ఫౌండ్ యూ, రైట్? సో దెన్ ఈ సెంట్ ఎ డివోటీ. దాట్ డివోటీ మేడ్ మీ సిట్. ఫస్ట్ ఈ గ్లోరిఫైడ్. ఆహా, నీలాంటి ఫేసు ఎక్కడ దొరకదు, నీలాంటి మనిషి ఎక్కడ దొరకడు అంటే బాగుంది ప్రభుజీ. నెక్స్ట్ ఇదే నా క్లాసులు. ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ నాలాంటి వాడు ఎక్కడలేడు, సెకండ్ క్లాస్ నాలాంటి మంచోడు ఎక్కడలేడు, ఇంకా థర్డ్ క్లాస్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నదా ప్రభు? కమాన్ ప్రభు, కమాన్, ఐ లైక్ దిస్. దాని తర్వాత మొత్తం కూర్చోబెట్టి పౌడర్ వేసి దువ్వి దెన్ ఇట్ టోల్డ్ ఆహార నిద్ర భయం అవుతున్నాం చ సామాన్య ఏతత్ పశుభిన్నారాయణం ధర్మే ఏకోవధిక విశేషం ధర్మైన పశువు సమానం. పశువు నా కొడక, నీకు ఇప్పుడు అర్థం కావట్లేదు. ఇదేంది ఇట్లా తిట్టాడు, కానీ తిట్టిండు, పొగిడిండు కదా. మళ్ళీ ఏదో రోజు పొగుడతాడులే అని క్లాస్లో పోయినా. He shouted at me, but he also praised me, right? Some other day he'll praise again. So let me go to the fourth session. Maybe fourth session about praising me. And in the whole process, a person completely, deeply stuck in the sins is introduced to bhakti. And Prabhu, bhakti works. And Prabhupada again and again tells that Krishna consciousness is our original nature. Krishna consciousness, please everyone, can you repeat what Prabhupada's words? Krishna consciousness
Krishna consciousness
is our original nature.
Is
is our original nature.
That we'll understand. Actually, we start enjoying Krishna consciousness because that is our original nature. Adi unnadu mana lopata. This committing sins is not our original nature, right? So that's the original nature. That comes into. So here Sukadeva Goswami is saying that these sins are like the dried leaves of a creeper beneath a bamboo tree, which may be burned by fire, although their roots remain to grow again with the first priority, first opportunity. They'll come back again. You can say, Prabhuji, I am doing chanting, but still I am not able to stop. But yeah, you just started chanting. How many lives you did not chant? ఎన్ని జన్మలు చాంట్ చేయకుంటున్నావు చెప్పు? కోట్లాది జన్మలు చాంట్ చేయకుంటున్నావు. ఇప్పుడే చాంటింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేసినావు. ఈ జన్మలో కూడా ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేసినావు? ముదిరిపోయిన తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేసినావు. ఇంగ్లీష్లో ముదిరిపోవడానికి ఇంగ్లీష్లో వర్డే ఉన్నదా? ఇంపాక్ట్ఫుల్ వర్డ్ ఫర్ ముదిరి. Something's that's why I like Balwan Prabhu preaching, because he preaches in mother tongue. Direct to heart మీద కొడతాడు అనేసి. English very difficult to preach. Anybody who can translate ముదిరిపోవటం in English?
Fructify.
Fructified.
Ripened fruit, Prabhuji.
ఎంత బ్యూటిఫుల్ చెప్తున్నావు. ముదిరిపోవడానికి రైపెండ్ ఫ్రూట్ చాలా తేడా ఉంది మాతాజీ.
ముదిరిఫైడ్.
ముదిరిఫైడ్, కరెక్ట్. What do you tell doskai in English?
Cucumber.
Madras
No.
cucumber.
No, doskai. Once I ask this question, people are laughing. That's what we think. We Englishify the local words. But what to do? Some words cannot be changed, right? ముదిరిపోయిన తర్వాత భక్తులు రావడం అంటే like you came to bhakti after completely getting contaminated, completely uselessly rotted, right? Then you are coming to bhakti. Then you are being brought here. Text 15. Hari bol. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham dhunvanti kartrushtyena niharam iva bhaskara. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. This is like unbelievable solution that is explained only in ISKCON right now. Unfortunately, openly being explained in ISKCON. Many other places, ఇది ఒక్కటే చెప్పరు, అన్ని చెప్తారు. ఏమండి చేయండి 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 అంతే. కృష్ణుడు భక్తుడు కాండి, become a devotee is being told only in ISKCON. Have you heard this anywhere before? Anywhere? ఎక్కడ పోతున్నారు? భక్తుడుగా become a devotee is not told anywhere only. That's what amazed me. Right? Nobody told me. ఇన్ని వ్రతాలు చేయించినావు, ఇన్ని కార్యాలు చేయించినావు. Nobody told. Went to temple also, sat in the temple. Nobody is telling, become a devotee. Everybody say, oh, you come here, take this nariyal, break this, and give this donation, sponsor this little thing, do the annadanam, do this danam, that danam. But nobody is telling, become a devotee. The internal change, the importance of changing from within, the importance of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, the definition of the Supreme Lord as the absolute truth, Sarva Karana Karanam, is never explained anywhere else. That is the greatness of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is representing Sukadeva Goswami right from the first line of the first paragraph of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami is telling this after 6 cantos. In first chapter, 15th verse, he's telling this. But Prabhupada started repeating this from the first canto, first chapter, first word. Because Prabhupada wants to make sure that we get the highest at the soonest. Because we never know when we'll die. How many people finished Bhagavatam in this call? 50 right? Mottam Bhagavatam అయిపోయింది. Cover to cover. Hari bol, Balamani Mani, Vennala Mataji. 32 devotees. I'm actually grateful that all of you are attending. Don't think I'm comparing and measuring or anything. Super, made sure he not only read, he also made some other, 40, 50 people read entire Bhagavatam. Hari bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhus, it's very important. It's very important. Prabhupada knew that people will struggle to finish Bhagavatam reading also. That's the reason from first verse, first paragraph itself, he's telling this absolute truth. He's not delaying it till it comes to the 6th canto. First line itself is saying, start performing bhakti. Bhakti yoga is greater than any other yoga. Start performing bhakti. And performance of bhakti means to follow the instruction of a guru. What is the instruction of a guru? To take spiritual life seriously. Don't become lenient. Spiritual life serious this Koranaina. And what does it mean to take spiritual life seriously? What does it mean to take spiritual life seriously? Is to take material life a little lightly. కొంచెం దాన్ని తగ్గియాలి అక్కడ. Material comforts, material desires. అది కూడా తగ్గాలి. So, see, when you become spiritual, automatically material will go. That is also true. But you can't sit between golden coins and say, okay, I'll start chanting now. You have to remove some gold also. Pakka diyal. Some things you should let go. Perform charity. Speak truthfully. Right? All those things that Sukadeva Goswami told in the last verse. Start doing those things. Start following the regulative principles. Raise yourself from Tamo to Rajas to Sattva. And from there, you will aim towards Shuddha Sattva. Prabhupada explains a whole big, purport of the importance of doing this. Manushyanam sahasreshu kinchid kaschid yatati siddhaye yathatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Hardly one knows me in truth. Among sahasreshu. Right? So, it's very important. We have to take this path very, very importantly, and we should be absolutely sure that we have come to the right path. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి కూడా ఇక్కడక్కడ తిరిగిందంటే మనంత మూర్ఖులు ఎవరు లేరు. People come to ISKCON and then they start looking here and there. Something else is also there. Let me also keep parallel track. Plan B. Plan B. You know what is plan B? Plan B will take you to hell. That's all is plan B. There is only plan A. Absolute truth. There is no plan B. Plan B means what? B for A for? A for in the apple. B for bat. Gidi nerpichindu. Avuna kada? But A for absolute truth. B for baker. Everything else is baker. ఆలోచించదు బేకర్. ఈ మార్గం ఆ మార్గం ఇది చేస్తే ఈ లింగం మీద నీళ్ళు పోస్తా, అక్కడ తీసుకొచ్చి ఇది చేస్తా, అది చేస్తా. ఆయన చెయ్యి. డూ, బట్ డూ ఇట్ విత్ డివోషన్. Don't do it with fear. Don't do it with as something you're auspicious you're doing. అక్షయ తృతీయ రోజు గోల్డ్ కొంట. అక్షయ తృతీయ రోజు నిజమైన గోల్డ్ ఏంది? ఎన్ని కేజీలు ఉన్నది ఇళ్ళల్లో గోల్డ్? ఇప్పుడిప్పుడే మాట్లాడాను స్టార్టింగ్లో.
30.
Vanilla Mati, how many kgs gold you have?
30 kgs.
30 kg. Subbara Prabhu carries at least 70 to 80 kgs of gold in his car. ఎవరు పట్టుకోలే కానీ దొరికిపోతే మాత్రం చాలా ప్రాబ్లం. You know that, right? He's carrying everywhere. He carries. Anybody who is looking for original, pure 2000 carat gold, he will give it. Right? And it's there. This is gold. On Akshaya Tritiya day, this is what we should buy. This is gold. ఇది నిజమైన బంగారం. అవునా? కానీ ఏం కొంటున్నారు జనాలు బయటికి పోయి? ఏం కొంటున్నారు?
మెటల్ కొంటున్నారు. మెటల్ కొంటున్నారు.
మెటల్ కొంటున్నారు. మెటల్.
Liquid stool as Prabhupada says.
వాట్ మాతాజీ?
Liquid stool as Prabhupada says.
లిక్విడ్ స్టూల్. కరెక్ట్. అది చెప్పినా కొంటారు, అది ఇన్ని కూడా కొంటారు. అదే కదా కర్మ. అదంతా ఇన్న తర్వాత కూడా, అది లిక్విడ్ స్టూల్ అని తెలిసిన తర్వాత కూడా ఇంకా చుట్టాల మధ్యలో పోయినప్పుడు ఎట్లుండాలి? డివోటీలా కనబడాలనా? ఒప్పుకోను నేను. రైట్? కంటి వల్ల కనబడుతున్నా అందరికి. అక్కయ్య, బావయ్య, మామయ్య, చిన్ననా, ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఎట్లా కనబడుతున్నాడు? డివోటీలా కనబడుతున్నాడు.
హీరోలా.
అది అట్లా కనబడాలి. అట్లా చుట్టాల ముందే ఎట్లుండాలి? డివోటీ సత్సంగం వచ్చినప్పుడు ఎట్లుండాలి చెప్తాను. దండవత్ ప్రణాం ప్రభుజీ. దండవత్ ప్రణాం ప్రభుజీ. ఎవరు మర్సీ ప్రభు. ప్రభుజీ మీరు చెప్తున్నారు అర్థం. దండవత్ ప్రభు. కాలు ముట్టుకోవచ్చా ప్రభుజీ? చుట్టాలు ఎరువైనప్పుడు ఏమంటున్నారా? అంత బాగా రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ ఎట్లా నడుస్తుంది? పోలేదా? ఇంకా అమెరికా పోలేదా? అరే నాకు తెలిసి ఎక్కడెక్కడ పోవాలి. రైట్? పరిచిపోయింది. సారీ ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడాలి. అవునా కదా? చూసిండ్రా ఇట్లాంటి కేటగిరీస్ని? మీ ముందే కనబడుతున్నా. నేనే ఒక కేటగిరీ దాంట్లో. ఇది ప్రాబ్లం. We don't want devotion. We want to act like a devotee. నేను యాక్టింగ్ చేయదలుచుకున్నాను అంతే. సుఖదేవ్ కోసమే చెప్తున్నాను ఇక్కడ. బిడ్డ నువ్వు ఎంత యాక్టింగ్ అనేది అక్కడ ఇంకో యాక్షన్ రెడీ అవుతున్నది. రైట్? I want to eat pressed oil because pressed oil will make me healthy so that I can look very nice. Right? ఏమవుతుంది అక్కడ? యమధర్మరాజు ఏం ఆయిల్ పెడతాడు అక్కడ? ప్రెస్డ్ ఆయిల్. ప్రెస్డ్ ఆయిల్లో వేయించుతాడు అక్కడ పైకి పోయిన తర్వాత. ఇప్పుడు ఎల్లిష్ ప్లానెట్ చూసి వచ్చాం కదా. రైట్? పాయింట్ ఈజ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ridiculing anybody. I'm just saying how important it is for us to change internally also, externally also. Externally also, internally also. Very important, Prabhus. Otherwise, we are cheating ourselves. How important is Sunday evening? Very important. How important is Sunday morning? Very important. Because we get to hear from somebody about Bhagavatam. Reminder. Sunday evening, reminder. Ekadashi. Tomorrow is Ekadashi, Sunday. Right? So, people who don't have any other preaching services, why don't you sit down and do 64 rounds tomorrow? సండే రోజు వచ్చింది ఏకాదశి. ఏం పని ఉన్నది ఇంకా? వాట్ అదర్ వర్క్ యూ హ్యావ్? రైట్? నో ఆఫీస్. Definitely no office. I can sit down, get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. You can hear the Bhagavatam class, Mahesh Prabhu will give. If you don't have any other service, just continue chanting. 8 hours, you'll finish 64 rounds, maximum. So start at 5 o'clock, finish at 10, 12, finish. 12 baje. Take a nap after that, come evening to the class. Right? We're discussing 15th chapter, material tree. So, this is your Ekadashi. We have to do what we are supposed to do. And we don't have to tell how many rounds you have chanted. One Prabhuji was once, who was telling, Balwant Prabhu or somebody was telling, that when you go and tell, I've done so many rounds with pride, all the benefit, if at all there was, of those rounds will go to that opposite person. Prabhuji, నేను 108 రౌండ్లు చేసిన ప్రభుజీ, నాకు ఎంతో మంచిగా అనిపిస్తుంది మాట. ఎందుకు చెప్పు? ఆ బెనిఫిట్ అయితే నాకు ఇచ్చింది. No need to publicize. Of course, you can tell to encourage our consciousness, right? But devotees coming and telling, I've done these many number of rounds, Prabhu, should we also do together, or you can also try? Then that is not taking credit or anything. But even in devotion, we should not do it for glorification. Text, there is a big purport actually, 3-4 pages purport. The whole Prabhupada explaining everything about bhakti. Bhakti is Prabhupada, right? He speaks about Uddhav Gita, Devahuti, conversation from different parts of Bhagavatam. Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavratam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama, right? And then from Uddhava Gita also, 11:14, where, my dear Uddhava, devotional service in relationship with me is like blazing fire that can burn to ashes all the fuel of sinful activities supplied to it. It can burn everything. Devahuti is saying, my dear Lord, even if a person born in a family of dog eaters hears and repeats the chanting of your glories, offers respect to you, remembers you, he is immediately greater than a Brahmana and is therefore eligible to perform sacrifices. Therefore, what is to be said is one of one who has seen you directly. Hare Krishna. And Jiva Goswami's explanation, Prabhupada explains, Jiva Goswami comments that bhakti may be divided into 2 divisions. Satata, devotional service that continues incessantly with faith and love, and Kada Chitki, devotional service that does not continue incessantly but is sometimes awakened. And again, he goes further explaining about Raga Bhasha Yami, Raga Bhasha Shunya Swarupa Bhuta, Abhasa Rupa. Please read this whole paragraph. It's a whole purport, small little book Prabhupada has written as soon as bhakti is introduced, because Prabhupada's goal is to give bhakti to this planet. As soon as Sukadeva Goswami spoke about bhakti, immediately Prabhupada erupts like a volcano. And he says, here is what we all need to hear. And just by reading this one translation and the whole purport, you'll understand what is bhakti. 16. Natatahi Aknavan Rajan Puyet Tapa Adibhi Yatha Krishnarpita Pranas Tat Purusha Nishevaya. My dear king, if a sinful person engages in the service of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and thus learns how to dedicate his life onto the lotus feet of Krishna, he can be completely purified. One cannot be purified merely by undergoing austerity, penance, brahmacharya, and the other methods of atonement I have previously described. Now he's going, now he only told, perform brahmacharya, perform this, perform that. Now he's saying, perform devotion. This is the highest, right? See how he is raising the bar. Sukadeva Goswami is raising the bar. He's telling, this is the highest, this is the ultimate devotion. And Prabhupada goes on, explaining, a devotee is Narayana Parayana or Vasudeva Parayana, which means that the path of Vasudeva or the devotional path is his life and soul. Completely dedicated. Every little thing you are seeing Krishna. How can I use this in Krishna's service? How can I use my money, my influence, my skills, my existence in Krishna's service? Once Prabhupada was giving sannyas, and this sannyasi, he took the Tridandi. Prabhupada gave Tridandi. He said, now you're a Tridandi sannyas. Right? And then the sannyas, that Acharya, that Guru, he holded that and he said, Prabhupada, there are 4 dandas in this. You said I'm a Tridandi. But there are 4 dandas. There are 4 dandas in, when they give it in a school. But you're saying I'm a Tridandi. Then Prabhupada said, wait a second, I'll tell you why. And then Prabhupada explained, Prabhupada came back and he explained, the 4th danda is Jiva. Not just mind, body and soul, but Jiva. You are not only giving your mind, body and soul to Krishna, you are giving your soul. You are giving, sorry, I can switch off this. Not only mind, body, intelligence, you are giving your soul. Understood? You are giving yourself Jiva. You are giving that also to Krishna in his service. That is bhakti. Prabhupada is very clear. Na tatahi. I think we read this, right? Yes, I previously discussed. Yes. Text 17. Sadrichino hi ayam loke panta kshemo akuto bhaya sushila sadhau yatra narayana parayana. The path followed by pure devotees who are well behaved and fully endowed with the best qualifications is certainly the most auspicious path in this material world. It is free from fear and it is authorized by the Shastras. He is telling you, pure devotee's path is authorized by the Shastras. So we are fortunate, we are following the right thing. Prayaschitani chirnani narayana paranmukham na nishpu nanti rajendra sura kumbham ivapaga. My dear king, as a pot containing liquor cannot be purified even if washed by the water of many rivers, non-devotees cannot be purified by process of atonement even if they perform them very well. Very important verse. He's saying non-devotees, even though they are performing atonement very well, it will still not purify them. నువ్వు తిరుపతికి పోయి గుండు మీద 50 గుండు కొట్టించుకున్నా నీ తలలో ఉన్న అహంకారం పోదు. Then you go to Tirupati, go shave your head every year. 50 years you've gone to Tirupati, 50 times you shaved your head. Still the ego sitting in your head will not go. Only hair will go. With that hair, what should go? Ego should go. Pride should go with that hair. In Kali Yuga, in 12th canto it is mentioned, people consider their hairstyle as their beauty. That is why you give hair. I don't want hair. This is more diverting me than anything else. Right? So, that ahankar has to go. And even if you have hair, you're not thinking about that hair. You're not thinking about, these bodily features. That is real thing. So even if they perform the purificatory processes, they go to, this yatra, that yatra, they go to the dham, put water on their head, put, the holy water in their tongue, all those things you will do, but still they will not come out of the sinful tendencies. Just like Sukadeva Goswami is saying, a pot filled with liquor, even though you wash 100 times, you cannot clean it. By any number of rivers you put inside the water, it will not get clean. Text 19, last one. Sakranmana Krishna Padara Vindayor Niveshitam Tadguna Ragi Yairiha Nate Yamam Pasha Bratascha Tadbhatan Swapne Api Prichyantihi Chirna Nishkrita. Although not having fully realized Krishna, people who have even once surrendered completely onto his lotus feet and who have become attracted to his name, form, qualities and pastimes are completely freed from all sinful reactions. For they have thus accepted the true method of atonement. Even in dreams, such surrendered souls do not see Yamaraj or his order carriers who are equipped with ropes to bind the sinful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'll stop it here at verse number 19. It's already late. Already crossed the allotted time, like always. So I'll humbly request Mahesh Prabhu to continue from here. From 19th verse to set a context, and 20th verse is the story of Ajamil.
Sure, Prabhu.
Very bold. Thank you. So, Prabhus and Matajis, thank you very much. Always try to remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, keep Krishna in your consciousness always, and try to somehow connect it back. Today, while I was singing Kirtan in the beginning, I just chant Radha Gopi Vallabh. Shri Radha Gopi Vallabh, Radha Gopi Vallabh Radhe. I sang that. It's not only my home deity, but the first deity I saw in ISKCON, right, in Boston. Then I started remembering what was the next deity I saw. So I went, okay, from Boston, where did I go? I went to Atlanta, near Atlanta, Greenville. So Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Then from there, where did I go? Denver. Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe. Before that, actually, Radha Gopinath I said, because from Boston I went to Radha Gopinath virtually, because that temple lectures I started following. Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath Radhe. Then from Denver I went to San Jose. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. So Radha Madan Mohan from San Jose brought me to Radha Madan Mohan in Hyderabad. And finally again, Radha Gopi Vallabh came back to the house. Hare Krishna. Circled. Krishna is not leaving. Dorkindi Nalgonda Reddy in Vatpal in Odolodu. He lifeline Etlodire Marchal. Krishna is planning everything, and Krishna has sent all of you into my life so that you all remind me of Krishna. And if I'm running away, don't be surprised. Please don't do Prajalpa on me. Lilananda Prabhu చూసిన అట్లా చేసిన Lilananda Prabhu అట్లా చేయడానికే పుట్టిండు. కానీ మీరందరూ పట్టుకోవాలి. Come and hold me, catch me, don't allow me to run away. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for your wonderful audience. Thank you, Shilpa Mataji, for scheduling this class. I preponed it because tomorrow I'll not be able to speak.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripasindubhyavcha, patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo namo namaः. Anta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Real golden devotees ki jai. All gold is sitting in this call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
If I spoke anything harshly, badly, please forgive me. Appu maatre క్షమించండి. కొట్టండి, తిట్టండి, కానీ వదిలిపోకండి. దండం పెడతాను.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad pranam, Prabhu. Hare
దండాలు.
Krishna.
దండాలు. Thank you, Anandaram Prabhu Charani Mataji.